So this next question is about exiting a trade based on time. So the trade is not supposed to last more than X number of minutes. All right, so let me start over from scratch here. I'll just choose a market entry order and we'll ignore the profit target since that's, well, actually, well, yeah, let me ask Matt. I might as well ask you, Matt. Are you using a stop loss there, Matt, with this system here? So in order to do a time-based exit, we need at least a profit target or a stop loss, one or the other. So, all right, Matt saying no stop loss. Okay, then we at least need a profit target. You have to have one or the other. So, right, there's right, exiting based on a time, that's not a risk management. That's not a money management. That's not what the scheduler does, right? The scheduler just restricts entry orders. It's not, the scheduler is not for setting up, exit orders for individual trades, right? So in order to do a time-based exit, you have to have a trailing roll. And so we need a trailing roll for either a profit target or a stop loss. So if you don't want to use a stop loss for fear of it getting hit, then let's set up a profit target, and I'll just choose the ATR one. Doesn't matter if you want to just do a tick offset or ATR. So I'm just doing an ATR because now I can just go in here and quickly set it up to a 10 ATR, or maybe even more, maybe go up to 15 ATR, right? That would be a huge profit target. So even if your profit target gets hit, right, that's a good problem to have. So if you don't want your profit target really to get hit, then obviously just increase that profit target, really large. But we need some exit order, right? Whether it's a profit target or a stop loss, we need an exit order so that we have trailing rules that we can create the time-based exit with, right? So I'm going to go into the trailing rule for this profit target and set the mode to custom. So now we can create a custom trailing rule here. And let's create a trailing rule, add a new one, and just give it some kind of a name there, right? And so the key is going into the trigger here, and we're going to use the delay trigger. And so here I can enable the time-based option here, and if you want, you can put in seconds, so if you wanted a minute and a half, right, we could put in 90 seconds. But if you just want minutes, then we could select minutes there and put in 2 minutes, or however many minutes you want there, right? And so that's our trigger mechanism, is basically wait 2 minutes, right? So once the profit target has been created, then this delay is going to start counting down 2 minutes, and then the action will be to flatten the position, right? So that's what we want to do, is flatten the trade, right? And that's it. So pretty straightforward there, and pretty simple to do. So again, just to recap here, we need at least either a stop loss or a profit target. So if you really don't want to put a stop loss out there, a fear of getting hit, then we can just create a profit target that's just way, way out there in the distant ether, right? So if the profit target's so far out there that if it gets hit, that's a good thing, right? And so then once we have an exit order, then we can go in and create a trailing roll. So you can create the same trailing roll with a stop loss if anybody wanted to use a stop loss instead of a profit target. So that's it. Just for the trigger, use the delay trigger and use the middle option here, which is time-based, right? So you have seconds, minutes, or days there. And then to set your action to flatten a position, and you're done. And of course, there's no repeat, right? Because once the trade's closed out, you can't close it out again. So this trailing rule, will never repeat itself. Let's see. Matt's saying, yeah, could I show the condition for the stop loss as well? So yeah, as I mentioned, you set up the trailing rule exactly the same. It's going to look exactly the same. So the trailing actions are exactly the same for every order type, right? So if you open up your entry order, well, a market entry order does not have trailing rules. But if I switch this over to, say, a limit order, right, we have trailing actions for an entry order, right? And they look exactly the same. So whether it's for a stop loss or a profit target, that trailing rule is going to look exactly the same there.